family, you know, his dad, a previous Milano holder.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and it's good to see him back out on track as well. He's had a good weekend at the end of last year, having a great weekend this weekend is Calvin Hogan. He's had 2 podium finishes and a further top 5. So the red lights are on, all ready for the race start.
Here we go.
And it's Billy Perkins, a hop, skip and a jump there from pole position, but he seems to have launched that TZR off the line better than the rest as he goes into Paddock Hill Bend first of all. Is that Mark Haig up in the 3rd place there? I can see those luminous orange wheels.
Possibly. I was just looking at Calvin Hogan. He did the same thing as Billy. He wheelied it partially off the start and then got a slow getaway.
That's the trouble, isn't it? Once you naturally you know a lot more about that than myself. But once that front wheel comes up, shut off the throttle, and that's kind of the.
You've got to be merciless with the clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. But Billy Perkins leads the way, but that is Alan Cooper, I think, who's just gone up the inside in towards Surtees for the first time of 12. So it's Mark Haig just being shown the high line there, holds on to 3rd position, but everybody through safely on the first half of this opening lap. But Billy Perkins right onto the rear wheel now of the number 30 machine of Alan Cooper, looking to take another victory here this weekend as they come around onto the start-finish straight to complete lap number 1.
Yeah, it looked like Billy missed the gear out of Graham Hill, or at least run a little bit wide, which put him off, and Alan got the drive underneath him.
Well, 3 abreast as they go in towards Paddock Hill Bend. That's number 26, Damien Lee, the blue with the yellow wheels, up into 4th place, and Dennis Halil in 6th. So Calvin Hogan has dropped 5 positions on that lap there, so getting a little bit beaten on that opening lap. Andy Wales dropped 4, Jeff Mook dropped 5 positions as well, but the biggest mover there is Paul Whitby from the back of the field. He made up 7. He's 22nd at the moment, but we'll try and keep an eye on him as this race goes on. Yeah,
Paul's had a few mechanicals with his back brake, and he pulled out at the last race because he had an air leak, so he's pretty much fingers crossed for this one.
Yeah, he's just made a move now on Colvin Turner, so the 74 now ahead of the 73 in towards Surtees, but back at the front of the field, it's a little bit of a breakaway there between 2nd and 3rd. Billy Perkins and Mark Haig, who made up 4 positions on that opening lap. So Mark Haig starting 7th at the head of row number 3, making up 4 positions. He's still there in 3rd place, ahead of David Ball, Damien Lee, Calvin Hogan, Dennis Halil up next, and it's Jeff Mook, Alan Bushell, and number 70 of Bursko dropping a few positions on that lap, but I'm sure he'll regroup, and we're looking to fight over the course of this race. We've got a hand in the air here for one of the rookie riders as well. Didn't quite catch who that was, but that will be a retirement, so down from 31 riders to 30 as they retire at the top of Paddock Hill Bend. Onto the Cooper straight then, and it's still Alan Cooper leading the way from Billy Perkins, but Perkins is the fastest man on the circuit with a 55.212.
Yeah, they're knocking on the 54s, not quite there yet, but they're getting there.
I think the fastest we've seen all this weekend was from Billy Perkins in the race earlier on today, 53.669. So a little way to go there as David Ball, number 8, goes purple in the first sector. And keep your eye on the number 8. He's in 3rd position at the moment. Mark Hayes just dropped a few, but goes side by side with Calvin Hogan. And
yeah, he's got a great toe off Billy there down the straight. He's right on his back now.
Watching them go through the dip, then it's the fastest lap of the race on that lap for David Ball, as we mentioned, 2 purple sectors, and it's a 54.401 for the number 8 rider of David Ball, but up towards Druids they go. That's Calvin now in 4th place, Mark Hagan 5th, Damien Lee in 6th, ahead of Dennis Halil, Jeff Mook up next, and that's Andy Bursko just behind them in 9th. Challenge there from Jeff Mook up the inside of Dennis Halil, so the 57 now ahead of the number 4. And Mark Haig trying to get a run on Damien Lee. There is he up the inside into Surtees. Job done for now. Oh, Damien Lee around the outside. He's retaliating there and just moves Mark off the line there and says, no, you're not taking my position.
Great scrap going on there.
So a few tail enders maybe coming into things here over the next lap. Purple in the first sector for Calvin Hogan on this particular lap.
Here comes David Ball up the inside of Paddock. Can he take it?
Oh, Billy Perkins late on the brakes as they go in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Chops the nose off.
Not letting him have it.
Absolutely not. He wants that 2nd place. In fact, he's going to go to the outside of that back marker there, and that's going up the inside is David Ball. And it's a 54 flat for Calvin Hogan, a purple in both sectors. So
yeah, Calvin's on the move.
They're all closing up at the front there, aren't they? And that's David Ball going up the inside, Calvin Hogan around the outside, and the next wave or next group of riders, Damien Lee leading that one in 5th place. But Alan Cooper, all of this unfolding behind him. He's just riding his own race, it seems, at the moment, but I'm sure there's going to be a bike stuffed up the inside shortly. Yeah,
there's going to be a right bum fight behind him, and you know, it depends whether someone's going on the outside.
There we go, so that looks like a challenge from David Ball and Calvin Hogan there. they're so close together on the circuit that we can barely see David Ball, but here they come, onto Clark Curve, onto the front straight. Alan Cooper, he knows that there's a load of people behind him now, and he just about chops the nose off as they come across the line once more to complete lap number 5. And they're all in the 55s on that lap, mid-55s from everybody inside the top 5, as Jeff Mook makes up 2 positions, but there's a bit of clear track between himself and Calvin Hogan. But Alan Cooper going a little bit defensive there. Billy Perkins looking for the outside, but no room there. Alan Cooper doing a great job defending.
Yeah, Billy's been really hot on the brakes all weekend, and there he goes again up the inside of Graham Hill Bend. He ran round the outside of Alan Cooper earlier on in the last lap, round 30s. So we'll see what happens when they get back onto the start-finish straight in a minute, because Billy Perkins is now up the front.
Billy Perkins, bike number 15, as you say, leading the way now, ahead of the 30 of Alan Cooper, and the gap last time was a quarter of a second, and we'll see what Billy can do, because last time when he was out in front, he did manage to put some distance between himself and the second place of David Ball on circuit.
I don't think his bike's got the ponies. He's just begun again on the start-finish straight.
Yeah, David Ball looking for a pass there, but Billy Perkins so good on the brakes in towards Paddock Hill Bend. We are at half race distance now, 6 down and 6 to go. But Alan Cooper retaking the race lead there. Jeff Mook, Damien Lee, Mark Hagan, Dennis Halil, they've spread out a little bit over the previous couple of laps, but there's a bit of clear track there, isn't there, between Jeff Mook and Calvin Hogan for 5th and 4th. Coming up to the tail end of there. Billy Perkins played that perfectly. He goes up the inside of the back marker and retakes the race lead. But Alan Cooper, who were looking to retake that lead, is going towards Surtees. No room this time around. But 1-2 back markers may come into play in the following couple of laps. But we'll get to them in just a moment's time. Billy Perkins leads the way on the number 15 machine.
Yeah, looking at this, Billy's going to need to do some good work with the back markers, because every time we come back out onto this start-finish straight, he's getting blasted by Alan Cooper.
Yeah, so what would be causing that then? So we just saw Alan Cooper just pretty much mirror signal manoeuvre on this one there.
Could be gearing, could just be that Billy's tune isn't as good as Alan's, you know.
So Alan Cooper there, that's the 2C engineering machine there, isn't it, for
Alan?
Alan?
I believe it is, yeah.
Doing a good job there. Billy Perkins again looking for the high line around Druids, and there's a bit of a gap now opening up between himself and David Ball in 2nd and 3rd. Calvin Hogan still there in 4th position, keeping a watching brief on them. Damien Lee closing right up to the rear wheel of Jeff Mook. So that is Jeff in 5th place and Damien in 6th place, but I think he's got a run on him as they go in towards Surtees. Not this time around.
Yeah, he's right on him though. He's right on him. Looks like this is going to be another scrap.
So scraps are over your look. We've got 1 for the race lead, 1 for the final podium position, and also for 5th place as well. So no matter where you look on this circuit, there is a great battle to be watched. But across the line once more to complete lap number 8, Alan Cooper, it was 0.2 of a second, and it's now over half a second over Billy Perkins. David Ball, Calvin Hogan and Jeff Mook, Damien Lee, Mark Haig, Dennis Halil. But going green in the first sector on that lap was Cooper and Perkins.
Yeah, they're down at the low 54s now, these guys. They're really cracking on.
Yeah, 54.6 for David Ball. He was the fastest man on the circuit on that previous lap, followed closely by Alan Cooper. But Billy Perkins using all of the track and a little bit more as they get into the thick of things with some more tail enders.
Yeah, Alan Cooper and Billy Perkins are making the best use of these back markers, better than the 2 behind them.
Cool.
Dave Ball and Calvin's going up the inside now. Yeah, he's used the back marker to good effect. He's on the inside. Dave's going to have to ride the long way round.
Yeah, that's good use there, like you say, from Calvin Hogan there, but very close as well. Alan Cooper and Billy Perkins as they went up the inside and towards McLaren. But David Ball just slipstreams past Calvin Hogan, retakes that 3rd place. 1 more back marker to play with, but no, they won't interfere too much. And what have we got left? 3 laps to go, and it was a purple sector on purple first sector, sorry, on that previous lap for Billy Perkins. So he's strong from the start finish to the exit of Graham Hill Bend.
Yeah, as I say, it looks like Billy's making all of his ground on the way into the corners.
Calvin's still there in 4th place, not quite managing to hold on to a 3rd place. He's been in there on a couple of occasions, but just loses out to the number 8 of David Ball. But
yeah, these 2 haven't given up. Dave Ball and Calvin being towed along. He's gaining on these front 2.
So if he was in 3rd position here, same position as David Ball, what would your thinking be here? Just, you know,
head down.
Yeah, absolutely. Push 100%. And
get everything you can. Like here now, he's trying to get every bit of slipstream he can out of Billy Perkins, and he's gone up the inside. Will Billy go around the outside again? No, he's not this time.
No, David Ball strong on the brakes, more superior corner speed there, holds on to 2nd place now. And David Ball, we've got 2 laps left, just over
he really looks determined to get this win this time, Dave Ball.
Yeah, so he's had a win yesterday and a win earlier on today as well. So looking to make it 3 from 4, and that will be the championship lead coming away from round 1. So David Ball just behind Alan Cooper.
He has really closed.
It was 0.6, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's nose to tail stuff now. And David Ball purple in the first sector, and it was a 53.8 last time around.
Yeah, so he, as I said earlier, he's really on the move. He really wants this now. He's hanging around the outside of Alan Cooper at the moment, out of clearways.
In the slipstream now as they come towards the line. The last lap flag now being shown. 1.2 miles left in the final YPM race of the day, and it's David Ball looking to the inside of Alan Cooper. So Alan Cooper, the long-time race leader, he's going to have to really fight for this one. Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's shown his hand a bit too early here, because now Alan Cooper, who's been leading this race for quite a while, knows he's there, knows he's got a fight on his hands, and he's got the chance to make any opportunity he can out of any back marker, or he's got the advantage from behind him, if you see what I mean.
And Calvin Hogan is just moving into third place as well. Billy Perkins relegated down to fourth place. I don't think there's much fight back there from Billy Perkins. He's looking down to the left-hand side of his machine, so could well be 13 points once again for Billy Perkins. But let's keep an eye on the battle for the lead. In fact, that's... let's take a look.
Calvin's just gone up the inside. He's just taken Alan Cooper for second.
It's a shame there for Alan Cooper. He's been leading the race for so long, but David Ball and Calvin Hogan getting the better of him, it seems, on this final lap. But here comes the retaliation from the number 30, Alan Cooper. Just pulls out of the slipstream, takes second, but David Ball, that was a great ride, and the fastest lap of the race on that final lap of a 53.589, exactly 1 second quicker than Alan Cooper.
Fantastic effort from David Ball. He's timed that perfectly. If you want to win a race, win it with the fastest lap on the last lap.
That's the best way to do it, isn't it? And he's leading the championship now after the first round of the season. So 53.589. That is the fastest lap of the weekend. It's a race win. It's a championship lead. It's been a pretty decent weekend, hasn't it, for David?
Yeah, that's nearly the full ticket, isn't it? It's nearly the whole lot. All the marbles.
Alan Cooper in second place, and it's Calvin Hogan, Billy Perkins, Jeff Mook, Damien Lee, Mark Haig, 7th overall in the end, but still first of the clubman, so great stuff there for Mark, ahead of Dennis Halil, Adam Carson, and that's Max McRae on bike number 100, the renter racer that we spoke about just before the race got underway. Bushell, second of the clubmans, ahead of Wales, Bursko, and Ian Davies rounds out the clubman podium, ahead of Tom Ridley, the first of the... In fact, there were 2 rookies at the start of the